Hey there, folks. As you can tell from the title, this is not one of our usual videos we make, nor is it one that I wanted to have to make so soon. This one is going to be a bit of a sad one, so if you don't want to hear about that kind of thing, this is your warning to switch this one off. If you remember, over the last few weeks, I have mentioned some things happening in the background that were hard, and one of them is that my mom had been sick and not doing well. She has had health issues for a while, but it had gotten really bad, and she was in and out of the hospital. Almost a month ago now, I got a call from both her and her doctor, and it didn't sound good, so I headed up for the nearly 8-hour drive with traffic to see her. She was in isolation, so no one else was able to go in, but we hung out and chatted, and then I ran out to pick up some things for her and some fast food because all that she wanted was a chocolate milkshake. I was only able to hang out for that day because we had to head out back to Eugene to take care of our school bus and get it towed because that was all happening at the same time. Things got a little better and they ended up letting her go home after a couple of days, which was really great news with how the doctors had been talking up until that point. The next weekend was her 64th birthday, so we headed back up to her place to see her again, and it was good to see her at home. This is the last time that I would see her, and this is the last picture that we took before we left. Later the next week, we headed out on a trip as a family. I'm not going to talk about that right now, but it will be something that we cover in a future video. While we were gone, though, Mom got worse and ended up back in the hospital, and she passed away. Just past her 64th birthday, her health issues finally won, and it is hard to believe that it really happened. I miss you, Mom. And to honor your passing, I don't want to talk about the last couple of years and what was happening there. As with most folks, things have been tough. What I want to talk about is how my mother raised me, the life we had when I was a child, and how it all shaped me into the man that I am today. When I was a child, we were very, very poor. I am talking no running water, living in a shanty, shitting in a bucket kind of poor. I didn't realize it until I was 10 or so, but when you are young, these things are hard to notice, especially when your parents do their best to make sure that you don't know. She was a stay-at-home mom while Dad worked his various jobs, and he was very much a jack of all trades, master of none, and through the years he was always working at some kind of job, though none of them paid terribly well. We ate simple meals, and looking back now, I know that sometimes she didn't eat so that my sister and I could. I noticed it more and more as we got older just how much they would go without so that my sister and I didn't have to, and that has shaped me as a parent to this day. She taught me that the kids always come first, no matter what. You love your children with everything you have, and you give them everything you have, every last ounce of you. Whatever it takes for them to succeed, you do your best to make sure that it happens. You will never be a perfect parent, but you have to be better than you ever thought you could be for them. She also fought for those she loved. She was the voice that forced changes within the school staff that would not listen to me. I was always short when I was younger, typically the shortest in my class. I was smart, I read voraciously, and I had no interest in sports. In a small backwater town, that combination would inevitably lead to bullying, and though I never told her the full extent of it, I did tell her about some, and that was enough for her to spring into action. I'm not sure how I survived some of what was happening at that school. It was physically violent, sadistic, and the teachers did nothing. Mom came into that school like a 5'2" hurricane, and those that would not listen were forced to listen, at least a little bit. Things changed in small ways, and the next school year we moved. I would likely not be here today without that intervention, and it taught me that you stand up for those that do not have a voice, for those that are small and those that are bullied. The bullying that I endured broke me in some very fundamental ways, and I will not stand to see it happening. I have brought parents and teachers and principals to their knees when anything like that has happened to our kids, or if I've even seen it happening, and that is thanks to what happened to me and the example that my mother set when she tried to make it right. You will not win every fight, but you have to fight them, especially for those that no one else will listen to. I am putting all of this to footage of this year's garden because she always loved gardening and self-sufficiency, and she has passed that on to me. We always had a garden when I was younger, and looking back now, I know it is because it is the cheapest way to create food for your family. Homemade meals, created from ingredients she had grown herself, was one of the ways that she showed that she loved us. We may have lived in a shanty without running water or plumbing, but we were also beholden to no one. We were off-grid before it was a trendy buzzword. Back then it just meant that you were poor. It was done out of necessity, but it showed me that even if life isn't perfect or easy, you still do the best you can with what you have. We do that with everything that comes our way now, take it and turn it into the best life that we can. You could sit there and complain about how bad it is, about the shitty hand you have been dealt, or you can shut up and do your level best to make your life better. Mom didn't always have an easy life, but she gave me the tools to make this life the best one that I can for my family. We are raising vibrant, beautiful children that will make this world a better place, and I do not think there is any better way to carry on the legacy that my mother gave to me. We miss you, Mom, and we love you.